Solved problem smartly. Long time ago, there lived an old man with his three sons in a deserted village located in the vicinity of desert. He had 17 camels and they were the main source of his income. He used to rent out camels as a means of shipping in the desert. One day he passed away. He had lived a will, leaving his assets for his three sons. After the funeral and the other obligations were over, the three sons read the will. While their father had divided all the property he had into three equal parts, he had divided the 17 camels in a different way. They were not shared equally among the three, as 17 is an odd number and a prime number which cannot be divided. The old man had stated that the eldest son will own half of the 17 camels. The middle one will got 1/3 of 17 camels, and the youngest one will get his share of camels as 1/9. All of them were stunned to read to the will and questioned each other how to divide the 17 camels as mentioned in the will. It is not possible to divide 17 camels and give half of the 17 camels of the eldest one. It is not possible also to divide the camels for the other two sons. They spent several days thinking of ways to divide the camels as mentioned in the will, but none could find the answer. They finally took the issue to the wise man in their village. The wise man heard the problem and in instant found a solution. He asked them to bring all the 17 camels to him. The sons brought the camels to the wise man's place. The wise man added a camel owned by him and made the total number of camels 18. Now he asked the first son to read the will. As per the will, the eldest son got half the camels, which now counted to 18 divided to 9 camels. The eldest one got 9 camels as his share. The remaining camels were 9. The wise man asked the second son to read the will. He was assigned 1 divided 3 of the total camels. It came to 18 divided 3, 6 camels. The second son got 6 camels as his share. Total number of camels shared by the elder sons 9 plus 6 equal 15 camels. The third son read out his share of camels 1 divided 9th of the total number of camels 18 divided 9 equal 2 camels. The youngest one got 2 camels as his share. Totally, there were 9 plus 6 plus 2 camels shared by the brothers, which counted to 17 camels. Now, the 1 camel added by the wise man was taken back. The wise man solved this problem smartly with his diligence. Intelligence is nothing but finding a common ground to solve an issue. In short, every problem has a solution. Foolish donkey. One beautiful spring morning, a merchant loaded his donkey with bags of salt to go to the market. In order to sell the salt, the merchant and his donkey were walking along together. They had not walked far when they reached a river on the way. Unfortunately, the donkey slipped and fell into the river. As it scrambled up the bank of the river, it noticed that the bags of salt loaded on his back had become lighter. There was nothing the merchant could not expect return home, where he loaded his donkey with more bags of salt. As they reached the slippery river bank again, the donkey fell into the river, this time deliberately. Thus the salt was wasted again. By now, the merchant knew the donkey's streak. He wanted to teach the animal a lesson. As he returned home the second time with the donkey, the merchant loaded bags of spoons on its back. The duo set out on their trip to the market a third time. On reaching the river, the donkey very cleverly fell into the water again, but now instead of the load becoming lighter, it became heavier. The merchant laughed at the donkey and said, "You foolish donkey, your trick has been discovered. You should know that you cannot fool anyone too many times." We should try to change ourselves. Long time ago, people lived happily under the rule of a king. The people of the kingdoms were very happy as they led a very prosperous life with an abundance, wealth, and no misfortunes. Once the king decided to go visiting places of historical importance and pilgrim centers at distant places. He decided to travel by foot to interact with his people. Peoples of distant places were very happy to have conversations with their king. They were proud that their king had a kind heart. After several weeks of travel, the king returned to the places. He was quite happy that he had visited many pilgrim centers and witnessed his people's leading a prosperous life. However, he had one regret. He had intolerable pain in his feet as it was his first trip by foot covering a long distance. He complained to his ministers that the roads weren't comfortable and that they were very stony. He could not tolerate the pain. He said that he was very much worried about the people who had to walk along those roads as it would be painful for them too. Considering all this, he ordered his servants to over the roads in the whole country with leather so that the people of his kingdom can work comfortably. The king's ministers were stunned to hear his order as it would mean that thousands of cows would have to be slaughtered in order to get sufficient quantity of leather, and it would cost a huge amount of money also. Finally, a wise man from the ministry came to the king and said that he had another idea. The king asked what the alternative was. The minister said, "Instead of covering the roads with leather, why don't you just have a piece of leather cut in appropriate shape to cover your feet?" The king was very much surprised by his suggestions and applauded the wisdom of the minister. He ordered a pair of leather shoes for himself and requested all his countrymen also to wear shoes. Moral of the story: instead of trying to change the world, we should try to change ourselves. Thank you very much.